Hi everyone, welcome back. And I hope you must have known how to mix the value scale because I already showed you the demo of how to mix the value scale. You take a white paint and a black paint, and then you mix the middle value, which is value number five, and then you create different values with that. You know, putting the middle value everywhere. In the second value, you just put a small pile of that, eventually followed by the third value a bit more, and then fourth a bit more, uh, value number 5, and then you mix more white into value number 2, a bit less white in value number 3, and then eventually less white in value number 4, so that it gets lighter than value number 5 here, and then for 6, 7, 8 you add a bit black into 6 just to make a bit darker than 5, and then eventually you make more black, mix more black into 7 and 8 to get darker than 7, and then 8 is more darker than 7 here. Okay, now the whole idea is to, when you see the photo here, when you see the image here, is to paint the overall shadow shapes with one value, and that is what everything starts from here. It's not trying to get into too much of different value system, because it will mislead you in all kind of value system. So the best way to do is that generally value number 7, just after the value number 6, is a good value for these grapes, because it's a general value, and general value means that in the peers you see some reflected light and some darker value. Just try to go with a darker value, because that is the value which will work in the most bigger area. General value means, like, if it's a shadow, if it's a bigger area, what are the areas, the more bigger area it is covering, that is the average value. Now it's the same thing I have done in the grapes, because I find that the value of the when you start something in the beginning, it should be kind of the same value for the shadow, for the grapes and the pears, because it's like, you are simplifying the process of learning it. And now I have taken her number kind of close to 7 only, and not close to, but exactly 7 only, and figuring it out, the value here. For this one here, I have taken value number 8 here, as you can see here, it's just next to the black color, because this is a very good value for the front part of the table, because that will give the light will look more powerful. So that's why I have used this value number 8 for the tabletop here, for the front of the tabletop, so that everything can be more focused with the painting idea. For the background, no, in the last painting I also used value number 5 for the background, because the value is not so light and so dark also. So value number 5 is very good value for the background here. And see, everywhere I'm just putting one flat value, like one flat value for the pears in shadow, for the cast shadow, one flat value for the grapes in shadow, one flat value for the table front here. So in the beginning you just put one flat value. You don't have to do too much of differences in the values. Like, values means not to make light here, dark here, and kind of go crazy in putting every values here and there. That way you will not get a very unified painting. If you go in a step-by-step process, the things will be defined in a much better way, and that way you can paint really well, and that's kind of really important. can see that how I'm evenly spreading the value number 5 and filling up the background, because that will help me to also the light will look also more lighter. And that is what you should do. Use the biggest brush possible. Don't use a small brush for the bigger area, otherwise it will take a lot of a good amount of time also, and then you will get a very small brush strokes which don't look good in the painting. So it's very good that you should use the bigger brush always for the desired area. And whenever you start painting, start to use the bigger brush. Eventually when you start to finish the painting, then you can use the smaller brush possible for that area to give that the sense of that emotion, the result, the texture, the quality of that object, because as we can see that the object here has a different quality to that. The table has a texture to that. The grapes is more on the soft side. The vase has some more texture in the middle or the lower section. The pears has some kind of cuts here and there. So everything, all the object has a unique quality to that, and that is what you have to look for. Now I'm just mixing value number 5 for this also, or maybe value number 6 for this. So but 5 is a good value for that. See, because since the grapes are much darker here, I am not putting too much darker value there, here and there, just a bit of that. Now that value thing which is I can see there, it is a bit darker than the background, so I am taking value number 6 here. As you can see that below 5 is the 6th value number, and that is what I am putting there. You see now how all the values are arranged in sequence order, and that is what we have to learn and find out. It's not that you have to put every values there, that way it will not work eventually. So it's very important to group the values together in the beginning, and then that way the painting will become much easier for you to paint. Same thing, I'm taking value number kind of 6 here. Six here. And you can see how I am putting a different lighter values on top of the pears. It was first, say you have that value number 5, 4, 3, 2. Now I am just going towards the value number 2 here, and that is how you put the values of light and shadow. You don't just put one flat value everywhere. No, if you want to make it into a round form, you have to change the value every like half a centimeter, or maybe less than that. So try to understand that it's not. It looks like a light color, but if you want to get that effect, it is all the idea of the the idea of the volume, which is really works everywhere, and that's kind of really important. And that is what I'm doing here, kind of placing these values in such a way where it is arranged in sequence order. The branches also has a lighter highlight to that, so let's doing for that. Now I've taken value number 4 here, and since the nature of the vase is kind of the white color, so the light will also much lighter here, so, and that is what I'm doing here, separating those values in such a way where it looks more balanced and nicer. I've taken value number 3 now. Now again I've taken value number 2 here. Just the general lighter values there, Whenever you're mixing the colors on the canvas, don't try to lift the brush too much. Try to be in touch with the surface of the canvas. That way you can get a nice sense of a volume also. As you can see that how I'm trying to transition these values together, in such a way that it looks like a nice round form. Putting a pure white of the color just to create a lighter volume there. Now I'm painting the surface with value number 6 there, because that is creating a bit darker of the cast shadow. Next to the grapes and the vase here, I am just putting value number 3 here. We can say you can also put value number 4 here. 3 will be good here, because it's lighter values there. And that's how I generalize the values and group these things together. As you can see that how I'm grouping these values together. You can see I'm also outlining the darkest underneath cast shadow of the vase here. Putting some reflection of the vase, because that is the lighter value, so that is what we need to do here. There's some of the reflection there. Now I will be just creating a bit of the darkest value into the grapes, just to create that transition of the values there. A bit more lightest value for the top section of the vase, because it's getting too much of light there. And you see how I arrange these values in sequence order, so that everything starts to look much more balanced. Now I'm just blending the darkest light of the piers, which is very next to the terminator line. Terminator line is what the area which separates the light family and the shadow family, So where the light stops, shadow starts, that is a terminator line. Now you see I have blended those values with color, with those different values. It was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And how I'm creating those sense of the volume there in the piers. And then I'm also softening the edges of the darkest light, so that it looks one pure volume. It shouldn't look too much of like I see a shadow area differently and light area differently. So everything should gel together, and so that the volume looks much better here. And you see, I will continue this painting, for sure I will finish it. But you can see how I started the painting and how and where we came here. It is a process of doing that in a manner where you kind of do in a sequence order of the value system, and that way it will work every time. I'm just a bit softening the edges here and there, but yeah, I will continue working in this painting here in the next video. So bye everyone, I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.